Hi. So I've been on this really intense journey, and I sometimes have a really strong desire to share what the fuck has been going on. Other times I just want to fucking hide. I don't want anyone to know what's going on. And both sides are extreme. And so in the middle ground, we share. Anyone who's been paying attention hopefully has seen the previous videos in this series, Tales of a Transformation Artist. Just recently I started IFS therapy, internal family systems. It's been a total game changer. So I want to tell you a story about what happened the other day, how I've been able to help myself outside of therapy. So therapy happens once a week. It's really intense and it's been really good, and we're working with dragons. So just recently I had a trauma therapist, a specialist in relational trauma, tell me the rage you feel towards your mother is a natural reaction to what happened to you. And nobody's ever validated the rage before. I've always been so afraid of the rage and just so not okay with it. And so one of the things that IFS therapy has helped me with is I'm no longer exiling my parts. So I have all this rage and I don't know what to do with it. I don't have any outlets for it. And so stuff it down, stuff it down, stuff it down. And I don't have it with me right now, but I have a cannabis pen. I fucking carry it with me everywhere I go. And so there's these different parts of me that have all of these different roles. And please look into IFS if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Please look at the previous videos. One is called my second IFS session, and the other one is just Tales of a Transformation Artist with a date. It's like 15th. Oh yeah, it was the day after Valentine's Day. What a day that was. Yeah, February 15th, 2024, Tale of the Transformation Artist. So those are the first two videos I did regarding IFS. What I want to share with you today is the burn house, what happened with the rage and the dragons, and how we were able to help ourselves. So more self is showing up. And so one of the goals of IFS therapy is to become more self-led. And for those spiritual people out there, this is a capital S self, not the small self, not the ego self. So what do I want to say here? So the burn house, that's what we're going to keep coming back to, the burn house. We created a burn house. And I'm going to talk assuming that you've first seen the first two videos. If you haven't, you might be lost. Please go back and watch them because I don't want to just keep repeating myself, the same stuff. I'm driving down the highway. I'm going to a trigger spot. My second biggest trigger spot right now. The first biggest trigger spot right now is this place I live in. I'm moving at the end of the month. So I'm driving down the highway, 90K, heading towards this spot, and usually about halfway there, the rage kicks in. And so this is a spot that I'm really trying to do a lot of work with. This used to be my happy place, and it got utterly fucking devastatingly destroyed. And it's no longer my happy place, and I really need to take my power back and make it my happy place again. That's the goal. So the rage kicks in. I'm driving 90K down the road and the voices start, right? And the rage kicks in and the stories, and we're just fucking looping and raging, and it's getting intense and intense and intense, and I start getting afraid because there's this thing happening called blending. One of the dragons is blending with the self, and we are becoming the dragon. And this is dangerous. So, something I haven't said here is that I spend a lot of time trying to control parts. We spend a lot of time locked up inside because we're not allowed to go outside because we don't trust ourselves. The self doesn't trust the parts. The self doesn't trust herself enough to control the parts. The 20s can't happen again. This big messy thing. Complex trauma is messy. There's so many fucking layers. So we're driving down the highway, 90K, feeling the blending happening. And this time there's enough self. Like, I don't know, usually, like, what would have happened before? I would have had to pull over to the side of the road and just try to calm down, try to regain control. Because I'm driving a weapon. A lot of my suicidal idealization back in the day involved being in my car. So I'm very aware that it's a big fat weapon and it's just too easy to do something really stupid that you can't take back. So a lot of times in my healing journey, I've not been allowed to be in my car. Anyway, there's enough self present. When was this? Like, this was last week. This was a Sunday. Last Sunday. 790K down the road, I feel the part blending, and I say, self says, please don't blend. I see you. I hear you. Please don't blend. Let's talk about this. I can hear you and I can see you, and let's talk about it. Please don't blend. And she heard me, and she listened. So driving 90K down the road, and so she just takes a step back. She's not blending anymore. She's happy that I can hear her, happy that I can see her. And she shows herself to me, and this is a dragon. And this is one of the dragons from the dungeon, from the 20s. This is one of the ragers. This is one of the big ragers, one of the big bosses in the dungeon. This is why we smoke so much pot. Like, this came up in therapy a couple of weeks ago. There's a part of us that smokes so much pot, just like, oh, keep a lid on it. Keep all the dragons in the dungeon. Don't let them up. They're fucking destructive. Anyway, please don't blend. So she starts talking to me. She's mad. Oh, so much rage. This is one of the ones that just wants to burn it to the fucking ground. Have you heard the Nickelback song? Burn it to the fucking ground. This is one of the scary parts, okay? These parts scare the shit out of me. And then we just keep exiling them, like, get back in the basement. Holy fuck, you guys, you're freaking me out. Get back in the basement. Smoke more pot. You have to laugh it off because really it's like a fucking laugh cry. There's nothing fucking funny about it. It's a stress response coping mechanism. Okay. So, one of the things that we've done in the past for dragons is create a bonfire to allow them, because they need an outlet, right? Part of why things have gotten so wonky lately is I'm not allowed to talk about it. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Ugh. There's so many things I'm not allowed to talk about. And so I just stuff them down, stuff them down, stuff them down. So what we've done in the past, a couple weeks ago, I think this was the February 15th session that I talked about, we created the bonfire. So there's a holodeck in the abdomen. In the holodeck, there's a beach in Hawaii, big white sandy beach. Got all of these different components. One of the components is a yurt, and that yurt is a holodeck, and in the yurt is the cuddle puddle, which is another holodeck, and there's also the gymnasium, which is another holodeck. So now what we created was the burn house. Okay, so the bonfire on the beach, and this little dragon, so she starts just spewing all her fire out, right? And this is how we unburden and exile. We allow them to unburden, like they're carrying stuff, they're carrying pain. We allow them to unburden. So I create bonfire for this little, she's not a little dragon right now. She's a big, fucking scary. So she starts spewing her fire into the bonfire, and she says to me, "This isn't enough." And I'm so proud of her for saying this. This is like one of our things that we're so struggled with, is asserting our needs. Oh, this isn't enough. I need more. This isn't working. Oh, I say, self, right? Self says, oh, let's create a burn house. She's like, what's a burn house? So excited. What's a burn house? Let's try that. So the burn house, the first rendition of the burn house that we create, is this smoldering farmhouse. It's a big burnt farmhouse. It's still standing, but it's smoldering, it's charcoal. You can't wreck it anymore. And so she goes in there, and at this point, other parts are getting curious to see what's going on. There's a community building inside. There's always been all of these parts, but they've been warring and they've been dissociated from each other. And now they're becoming more aware of each other and they're becoming a community. So at this point, all of these other parts are getting curious. What's going on? We want to be involved. They've been involved previously in the bonfire. Everybody's welcome. All parts are welcome. But you see, with the dragons are so dangerous. They spew fire. They have the capacity to hurt people who aren't fireproof. Dragons are fireproof. The other parts aren't. So at first it was like, yeah, all parts are welcome. But then it was like, wait a second, guys, this is dangerous. If you're not fireproof, you're not allowed in for your safety. So there's and for privacy, actually, because at first it was like, oh, so we can watch from the outside. And the dragon said no. So again, I'm so proud of herself for standing up and saying no. This has been such a challenge for us. No, that's not enough. Or no, I don't want that. God, that's a challenge. No, I don't want that. Anyway, so she's in the burn house, just spewing fire everywhere, burning, 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 burning. I'm driving down the highway, 90K, watching the whole thing go down. Supervising, right? Self is supervising and driving down the highway. So this isn't enough. Again, she says, this isn't enough. Because she wants to fucking destroy things. And I mean like, this is one of the parts of me that scares the shit out of me the most, I think, is she just wants to fucking destroy things. People, things, doesn't matter. Get the fuck out of the way. Fuck you, fuck off, get the fuck out of here. This dragon means business. She's dangerous. So giving her what she needs, there's a lot of motivation to give her what she needs to heal. The cool thing about IFS is like we have the capacity to heal. That's the point of this story. So this is a part that has been scaring the shit out of me for a while. She's been in the dungeon. She needs to be heard. She needs an outlet. She needs to know that she's not alone. She needs to know that she is welcome, that she's loved and that she's accepted, and that there's remorse for what she went through. And this is where we just have to hear out. This is how we unburden the exiles. We hear them. We give them the space and the permission to speak, to spew, to yell, to scream, to fire, whatever they need to get it out of them in a safe and appropriate manner. So she says this burn house is not enough. She wants to fucking destroy things. Like, this is what she needs to get it out. Okay, we can do that. We're in a holodeck. Anything goes here. So I give her the space and the permission to create whatever she wants to create. She wants to create beautiful mansions, big, beautiful masterpieces. And then she wants to fucking destroy them, burn it to the ground. And she did for a long time. I don't know how long this whole thing probably only took, like 15, 20 minutes as I'm driving down the fucking highway, but it felt like hours, maybe even days inside. Unburdening, spewing out so much pain. So it turns out that this part holds betrayal trauma. This system carries a lot of betrayal trauma from early childhood, from middle childhood, from teenage, adult, until just recently. The reason that she got picked up so severely as I was on my way to this trigger point is because I feel like there was a major betrayal at this place from somebody that was supposed to hold my feelings in high regard. They were using words that told me such things. They were using words that told me that they cared deeply about me and how I was feeling and how I was doing. They said things like, I matter to them. And then just a complete disregard for my feelings and where I was in my healing. And it was just like, so the dragon got kicked up. So the burn house, where are we? We're talking about the burn house, sorry. Traumatic memories are jarring. Nervous system discombobulation. So this one carries a lot of betrayal trauma. I don't think she carries all of it a lot. She built and burnt and built and burnt, I don't know, 100 times, 200 times. She spewed and spewed and spewed and spewed and spewed until she had nothing left, and I watched this whole thing go down. Have you seen Maleficent? So I'm a very visual person. I see all of this inside. I see it all. Like movies are happening inside. I can do it with my eyes closed. I didn't do it with my eyes open. I can just be looking at a wall watching movies. I could be driving down the fucking highway watching movies. Yeah. Um, so Maleficent, when she turns the crow into a man, that's what happened to this dragon. And if you haven't seen it, Black Crow morphs into dirty naked human. That's what happened, exactly. Big black scary dragon spewing fire morphs into a naked, dirty little girl. So under all of the rage is pain. Please don't vent. Under all of the rage, so much pain. So I scoop up this little girl. Self comes in, and I hold you, scoops up this little girl. I'm here. I'm here. You're not alone. I see you. I'm here. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm so sorry that you were so alone through all of those experiences. As a small child, I'm so sorry that you didn't have an adult to protect you. I'm so sorry, my dear. I'm here now. You're not alone. So this is the big theme, right? You're not alone. Self is here. There's self here. Adult self. Because a lot of these parts, like especially the protector parts, we were working with a protector part last week that thought I was 8 years old. They're doing all of this work to protect me because they think I'm 8 years old. Excuse me. Yeah, a lot of fucking shit went down when I was 8 years old. So those are the Port Alberni days. Wow. Those were some days. So this big black scary dragon that I have been exiling for years, she scares the shit out of me. This whole like dungeon of the 20s. I don't know if you've watched any of my other videos, but the 20s were fucking terrifying for everybody. So where did we leave it? We have a burn house for the dragons. There's many dragons inside. And now we have a burn house. That is a holodeck, so if they want to just go in and burn the fuck out of the place, they can. Anytime they want. No permission needed. They have full permission all the time. All of these holodecks, so there's a holodeck in my abdomen. All of the parts have 24/7 access, full permission, except for the burn house. Only the dragons are allowed in the burn house, and they have full access and full permission. So an exile got unburdened, and this was a spontaneous experience. In IFS, they call it a spontaneous unburdening. It's not supposed to happen like that. It's not normal. There's nothing normal about this. Nothing has ever been normal about this. Anyway, so the burn house has been created. More of a community has opened up inside. We're working together. And this little girl, we're going to work with her again on Monday. She's not alone anymore, and she's got no more rage left. Which is interesting because I had a nightmare last night full of fucking rage. I beat somebody to within an inch of their life in my dream last night. I've never done that before. That's never happened. All of the stuff that's gone down with nightmares, that's never happened before. So there's still some rage inside. When I woke up, I could taste blood. Oh, God. It very much reminded me of the times I used to wake up in pools of my own blood. Anyway, the burn house. So the whole point of this, gosh, I don't know how long I've been fucking talking for. I wish I could keep track of these things. Oh gosh, it's been at least 20 minutes. Yeah, I just wanted to share another tale from the transformation artist. IFS, Internal Family Systems. Richard Swartz wrote a book, No Bad Parts. This has been a game changer for the transformation artist to heal trauma. And it's funny because as I'm saying this, there's an awareness up there somewhere watching. There's an awareness watching. There's a whole nother layer of understanding to this tale of a transformation artist. Because you see, the transformation artist, words fail me at times, she's a dream character. She's the one who makes up the stories. And there's a whole nother layer. Depending on where you are on your journey, you're going to understand that or not. Yeah, the burn house. IFS. Another game changer. Thank you for listening. I'm sending you lots of love. You know what I've decided in this whole Tales of a Transformation Artist series? Because this dream character suffered in hell for so long and then got out of hell. This is me planting seeds and leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for anybody paying attention. It's out there, it's free. If you have any questions, get a hold of me. Ask them. Find your answers. Sending you love.